I gotta film me doing the Roubiks Cube anyway. Where is it? I need to put it right there. My ears are ringing. Let's see. And I'll mix it up some more. And mix it again. And it's sold. And you can do it behind the back even. Or you could put it in the bag, either way. I almost dropped it. And the Akira JC Some Underground Gear song. Everybody, the teens at church, like, how you do that? Then, so it took me a long time to get that smooth. I think I said 2 weeks. Seems about right. Took me 2 weeks to get smooth to do the Crazy Man's handcuffs. And I'm doing it differently than everyone else. Except one magician out there is doing it like me. It's like one guy's doing it like I'm doing it on the corners. And he's a professional. I think he's been on That's Incredible, where they mix the cube book and solve it. I think he mentions it. Anyway. Christopher Hart Illusion. That's Doubles and Copperfield's Illusions, and they collaborate back and forth. Chris Kenner and all of them, they all collaborate back and forth, and Copper collaborates back and forth. It's called Brainstorming Ideas. And Copper calls it, there is his Magic Gang, Magic Illusion Crew. Okay, well, what am I supposed to be doing? Oh, I know. I can't think of the guy's name, but here's his method. Applebite Juggler showed how to do this, I think. I think he showed how to do this. He showed us Stephen Brundage. Later on, Stephen Brundage showed how to do one way. Stephen Brundage teaches the little, big, little. He couldn't remember what he said, which is understandable. When you got so much Roubiks Cube routine, it's easy to forget what is what. Anyway, he teaches that now. Alright, and everybody on YouTube teaches it. But anyway, even people who do computer graphics. When Copper makes the moon vanish, they're gonna go, everybody's gonna have their own theories out there. I mean, they already have their own theories, and I have my own theories, and everybody's got their theories out there. Mine is a shadow projector, a black art lighting shadow projector. And then I realized, wait a minute, there's a thing called Venta Black, and it absorbs the most light. So just call it a Venta Black shadow projector out in the desert, beamed on to the moon. Tommy said do something. Tommy Story said do like Star Trek, beam a black laser from a satellite in outer space. Dave Duncan said something like me, but use a cloaking military balloon, clear balloon, high in the atmosphere, and beam a Venta Black shadow projector. Venta Black shadow later on the moon. Kenny Rock church member said, "Easy, just reflect the dark side of the moon to the front of the moon." Bob Schofield thought it was the same idea, but he went in more detail. Take Elon Musk's flying drones and reflect mirrors on the dark side of the moon into the front of the moon. Miles Pitwell, he said, use Tesla's Elon Musk 60-something Wi-Fi Starlink satellites to block out the sun from the moon. And a guy named, Bob Schofield said use a foil mirror to block out the sun rays from the moon. And a lady illusionist called Catherine, she's a scientist too, and also Raven, a lady illusionist, they also say foil mirror to reflect the sunlight back onto the moon, but it'll keep the moon from the sunlight on the moon.
I have coffee now.
I have coffee now. Yum. Oh, not that Ben Woven thing. Gross. You guys, I don't know. If it's not blowing that high-tech whistle making my ears ringing, it's still ringing. Then you knocked on the door, and I thought Miss Story forgot something. I went to open the door. She's driving off, and you blow that whistle. And I said, I knew you were going to do that.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I knew you were going to blow that whistle, but I thought you were going to do it in my bedroom like you normally do. When I come in the room, you go, tweet. That's one thing you don't got on camera. Anyway, back to talking about the Roubiks Cube. Anyway, what was I talking about? I can't even think straight. My ears are still ringing. Maybe I need to answer it. Hello, Chief. I got to answer my earphone. What about my shoe phone? What about my belt phone? Oh, no. Not again.
Up close and personal.
No. Ah.
Is my camera name?
Yeah. Now my ears are ringing more. That thing's supposed to be louder than a police whistle. I think they need to use that technology instead of a regular whistle.
You're welcome.
Very funny. You got that out of a joke prank thing. It's a pretty big red whistle.
I bought it at the store.
You didn't buy it at a joke shop?
No.
You buy it at a Walmart?
Yeah.
Who knew? I don't think they'll probably be there now. That was like probably 70s and 80s.
Really? I just bought it like 6 years ago.
6 years ago?
Yes.
Okay. And we found out that Mark Taylor's been a youth director. Well, he's retired now, but he was a youth director for 36 years. And the other times he was a Coast Guard. But God called him to be a youth worker. Then he's retired now. Now Jason and his wife Hannah has taken over. And Mark and Patty are retired, but they're still helping out in the church. I can't even think right now. I was talking about something and then I forgot. Something about the moon vanish. Oh, Andre Cole in the 1970s thought of 7 ways to make the real moon disappear in the 1970s. And he gave it to Copperfield. And Copperfield was a billionaire. And Andre Cole was a Christian illusionist. And Copperfield was a Christian illusionist. So, no brainer. He gave it to Copperfield so him and his crew can work on it. And Andre Cole said in an interview, he said, I'm excited David's going to breathe life into my illusion and make it a reality. And then Copperfield says it's been 30 years of hard work, 30 years in the making. Well, it was supposed to be in February 2024 at some time. I assume it would be when a full moon is. But he's been practicing since the year 2000 and something. and ever since as a kid he's been wanting to do it. And someone said he wanted to do it since the Great Wall of China, and then they said a big spectacle for the Olympics, but they found it too expensive. And the guy said, "I'm glad that Copper's getting ready, being able to do it now." And Copper said on today's show on NBC that we're doing well, we're trying many methods, and everything's going well and smooth. And if you catch me and my crew practicing it, tag me on my socials. I'm at Copperfield. I tagged them on TikTok, X, Facebook, every social media I can find them on, Instagram. Last time I checked, I got 1,309 views on my YouTube channel at Bill Green, and look up at Bill Green 4003, search for 00076 Moon Shapes in the Sky Copperfield. And another way to do it, http://www.youtube.com/@ all lowercase BILLGREEN, and then put the number 4 then 003 slash VID, well, you know how to spell videos, I'm trying to say it right, VIDEOS, anyway, videos, and then you just look for the video 00076, and put Moon Shapes in the Sky Copperfield, hit the search engine, and there it is. Last time I checked, I got 1,309 views on it. First, I do up, down, left, right, like a turntable idea, and like a Bronze Ferrari, raise the platform up, sun meets the horizon idea. Then I said, wait a minute, they're actually doing it. So I pause it, and then they see the moon slowly disappearing. Then it looks like it's splitting up in pieces, and then gradually the whole thing disappears, and then it'll come back, and it'll look like a star. Then it'll look like Pac-Man, and it'll slowly come back to the moon shape that it is. It's not exactly a full moon, but it's pretty close. Copper put all of his secrets on the moon, including the Statue of Liberty and moon vanish. He said, so if you go on the moon, you can find my secrets. He said he's got some also on planet Earth too. One time the rocket didn't go very well, and it went into an ocean. So he said somewhere a fish is teaching another fish how to saw another fish in half. I can't think of this one, but Applebite Juggler YouTube channel showed Stephen Brundage routines, and some teenagers teach Stephen Brundage, and some others who do a computer graphic version of it, even behind the back one and all that, and in the bag and all that. Stephen Brundage uses all sleight of hand. My theory is he's using 3 Roubiks Cubes. But nowadays you can use a Henry Harris ideas and a Gregory Wilson idea. Gregory Wilson's Rubicon, then Henry Harris took something similar and called it Venom Cube. Anyway, Both are good ideas. Even Art Against is good too. Alright. Statue of Liberty, he could have combined everything. Black art lighting, Venta Black absorbs the most light. You know, put on the generative electric lights. Raise the platform higher up, sun meets the horizon, like Franz Ferrari. And then use the Lazy Susan turntable. He could have used all three and to make it one big illusion. To make a jet vanish, either haul it out the back like the elephant, or a fast elevator, or flip upside down like the Green Hornet car, or in the Shaggy we pull the lever and the house turns into a tree, and then do it again and the tree turns back to a house. It has Batman and Robin in it. Then I saw a PBS thing where they were doing a house the same way. Although on Bloodhound Gang a house was missing, and they used special helicopter to haul the house away in case of the missing house. I remember in the comic book Marvin went to go trick-or-treating. He says trick-or-treat, and all of a sudden the house disappears in a puff of smoke. Boom. And the mailbox says David Copperfield on it. John Sloan remembers that one. Tommy said he still got that comic strip, but he's got so many he doesn't know where he put it. I'm going to try this one. Let's see, where does it go now? Oh man, I'm messing up already. Try it again. I'm so tired I can't think. Yeah, now it's running. And it's all mixed up. Then I mix it again, and it's really mixed up. And then still mixed up. Gotta think here. Almost good. Yeah. I'm so tired I can't think straight. Anyway. Raise the platform higher up, ladies to the turntable. Just turn the lights out on the statue and put the black lighting, purple lights into the crown of the statue. And before the illusion starts, Copper disappears on a platform and the ladies drop it, and then the camera goes up to the torch and it's Copper waving at the torch. Nobody doesn't mention how that's done. My theory is, since Christopher Hart looks just like Copperfield, because they said that Christopher Hart is using switcheroo illusions for Copperfield shows, and they get ideas. They give each other ideas while on the train and on the buses, whatever they're doing. It might be a train, but anyway. The um, Christopher the illusionist is the one waving. We don't get a close up of, and you got the lights. Um, so Copper disappears on the platform while the girls are looking towards where the statue would be, while the credits are starting to roll to start the show. And Copper goes into the hollow stairs on that high tower platform, and then you see Copper waving at the torch. Nobody wants, don't want to reveal that part of the illusion. They reveal does Lady Susan turn the table or raise the platform higher up like Fauntleroy, and or haul the train or plane out the back. That's all good. That's great. And cardboard cutout, or use the bat signal idea for the cardboard cutout just on one light to reflect on the canvas, and you wouldn't have to have a cardboard cutout in the front. Well, either way, both ways would work. Or haul it away with a helicopter in whisper mode. Anyway, you can have like a shell coin, and then the real platform is still there with the ropes and everything matching the one that's taken off in a helicopter. I mean, there's helicopters that can fly away with a Jeep, and then they got one that's got a hole in the middle that can fly away with a house. So that way you can land it and you don't have to carry it on top of a truck. You could cut down on the elevator, another elevator closed. I've seen the Shell gas station commercial like that. Or you could flip it upside down and have a duplicate of everything on top minus the plane or car. And if you want to make something reappear, just reverse it when you pull the lever. You can do it day or night and have a scenery that looks like an empty parking lot or a runway that looks like the scenery, but it's a realistic painting of a space shuttle or air or a scenery background of the sky like they do in movies. Then secretly bring in the airplane, and there's the airplane, Fauntleroy style, and get in it and they fly away in it. And someone, David L. Good, I know him from AOT.magic.secrets and Google groups a long time ago, and now I get to see his YouTube channel. Just look up David L. Good, and he does video photography. I didn't even know that. He does it with his two daughters and stuff. It's pretty neat. I gave him a whole bunch of cassette tapes, audio tapes of Secrets of Magic, and he told me some things. It's like Kevin and Mr. Magic. Someone gave me some tips on the floating roads, and when I got to floating roads, I can see what he's saying even more detail. And if you get the DVD, it's even more information that's not on the original VHS tape. There's a little extra bonus on the DVD, and then but he on the original and the new one, Kevin James thanks Copperfield for the added idea tips. Anyway, there's a lot of ways to vanish and reappear objects, buildings, airplanes, trains, whatever you can do. I hear Fauntleroy does an illusion where he makes a train go through a mirror, but you don't see it come out the other end. That'd be interesting to see. I've been reading about his making a whole marching band appear. I'm glad he showed how to do it. He performed it, and you could see the shadows of how it's working. And one of the guys that was there said, "You're correct, Bill. That's how it's done. Perspective view." And they said they did it for both Fauntleroy and the other guy. That Fauntleroy was there for both. The work for both magicians doing the appearing marching band illusion. And I was thanking Franz Reich for doing that. I wanted to see it in action. There are two tricks that I haven't seen how to do that I wish I understood. Is the passkey knot that Doug Henning did, where two assistants hold a rope on each end, and they can pick any area of the rope for the magician, like in this case Doug Henning on NBC, cut the rope where the assistant says, and he ties it, and he moves it from left to right, and then he comes back and says, tells the spectator, tell me when to stop, and the spectator says stop, and they can stop anywhere on that rope, and when he unties it, the two pieces end to end. It's pretty neat. I hear there's other magicians like Jim Steinmeier and others improved upon it, but it's called the passkey moving knot. And another thing magicians don't explain. I mean, Herbert Becker talks about it, and I read it in illusion books, but there's no saying how to make one. It's called a shadow projector. I know when they're working. I mean, I used to thought Copper used it for a shadow projector, but now I know that that's not how it's done, because Herb Newman and Bob Schofield let me know, no, it's no shadow projector for the Great Wall. It's just two people switching places with hollow stairs to make getaways. The first guy goes through. In this case, it's Christopher Hart, shadow-wise, is through, and he gets into the base. And then Copperfield climbs the stairs and goes over on a rope, and he mingles as one of the crew assistants, and then he gets into the hollow stairs and he takes out the assistant's costume, like it's like how Houdini did, and then watches angles with the light, and then the second shadow is really Copperfield's shadow widening through the wall. The first one is his look-alike Christopher Hart illusionist. He shadow-wise through the first part of the wall. And even he says on his website, and even if you use the biography of Christopher Hart, he mentioned that he shadow-wise through the first part of the wall. And he doubled for pulling in the chains, a couple of his hands pulling in the chains, and then a wire moved up and down. And what you're seeing is not a pre-recorded video. People are saying that the video didn't match up with the police because the chain wasn't exactly in the same position. Well, the secret is that Christopher Hart is in another location of the Charlotte Hotel building than what you're seeing. So when they said no video photography trick, that's true. That camera is on the one in another location in the building. That's the secret of the whole thing. And my theory is right, because I saw Chris Angel on a Las Vegas TV show, and he walked in a water on a swimming pool that Andre Cole gave him to use. Later on, Chris Angel, Mind Freak on A&E, and then some other channels. He walked in a swimming pool, a longer version, and then Lake Mead, and then you got Dynamo doing the same thing, and a Christian magician that does robotics with drones. I can't think of his name now. He taught how illusions work on his YouTube channel. It's like Jay Sankey teaches his tricks, and Greg Petty teaches his own tricks, and people see how good it is, and they still buy it. See, that's the way to do it. Anyway, a lot of people appreciate the performer once they know the skill behind the big illusion, what all they had to go through, and all the sweat and work and the design, and sleight of hand and parlor and sleight of hand mind reading, the staging, the theater, the drama, the extra stooges, just to make that one illusion be amazing for the whole audience when you just stooge one guy. I mean, I was a stooge for a magic show, and he didn't have to go don Brandon, his wife Joyce, at the Scotch-Rite Center. He said, "You got a handkerchief?" And I showed him my fancy handkerchief. He said, "No, that I won't do." And he handed me a white one, which I had a feeling was the Blackstone dancing handkerchief. And he didn't go in detail to me. He knew I do magic tricks, so he knew what I could understand what was going on. So he didn't have to explain too much. He just handed it to me. So I knew when he was asking for a handkerchief and the kids are raising their hand or adult, he said, "You, sir." And I go, "Me?" "Yeah." And I come up there with the handkerchief. And then he was teaching me how to do a handkerchief. He said, "I don't trust Bill. He's a magician too. He's in Portsmouth. Him and Tommy and Mike and Dave and Mr. Blanford was in the audience." He said, "I was hoping you would see this show. I didn't know you knew about it. I heard about it in the newspaper." And I said, "Yeah, Mr. Duncan keeps up with that with Dave, his son Dave Duncan." Anyway, that's how we found Chuck Winnie's magic shop. Dave wanted some doves, and he looked up in the yellow or white pages and found Magic and More, Chuck Winley. And we've been going there ever since. And then he moved over to Ocean View, and then Bob and Howard Chapel go over there and do stuff like that. And then Chuck wanted someone to take over the website that he advertised in the Genie magazines. I don't know if he does in the Magic magazine, but you can see it in even the ones that Bob kept way back when. And on the front cover it says, "Donny Osmond, the Great Osmondos." I was like, "Oh, cool, he's a magician too." And it has Maria in there and everything. Anyway, Don Brennan plugged me and all that stuff and all that. And he did the Abbott Super X levitation too. And he said, "Does yours wobble?" "Yeah." "Okay." So let him know that that's just the way they make it. It wobbles. Anyway, he said, "Well, I just act like I'm adjusting the wires." I said, "Oh, yeah, that's a good idea." And then Michael Klein was taking pictures and stuff. And Michael Klein was part of an illusion where the Houdini escaped. And he was wrapped around with some kind of belt thing. And people hold on each end. And it gave the illusion that Michael Klein lost his underwear. And Mike said, "That ain't my underwear." I said, "I know that. I don't think you wear those kind of underwear." I think it was polka dotted or something. But anyway, and then Mike looked like he lost his head. It caught on fire. I said, "Mike, how was it?" "It looked like your head was on fire, and all you could see was a skull in the circle." And he said, "I don't know. It was some kind of black thing came in front of my face." "Oh, that's all you saw?" "Yeah." "Oh, okay." And then I said, "I'm having trouble with my Blackstone vanishing bird cage." And then, because that's all he did, the trick. And then I got from Abbott, and he said, and then he's got his out of a container like my dad has to put blueprints in, furniture or something, drawing. Probably Bob's Couple does, like a canister, keeping it. And he showed me how you hold it. I go, "Oh, I'm holding it wrong. Okay." Dakota's got his crab cage version, and Jonathan Pendragon mentioned he's got his own version. Everyone has their own version, and even Sandy Bundy's got his own version, and Tommy Wonder's got his version, and even Blackstone Jr. had an added touch on 321 Contact like that. Anyway, it's pretty good stuff. I'm rambling on. I'm probably boring the audience, as Michael Klein would say. Get on with the trick or something, yeah. I ain't got more tricks to do, but anyway. Hopefully the one that I'm trying to get from England or UK or whatever, Volume 1 of 446 Mix and Decepticon, plus other stuff that's in Volume 1. I ordered it around Christmas time with my Christmas money, but I ain't seen it. but then they just now put a website saying we moved to another area. So hopefully in between the transition they didn't lose the money in the transition. Anyway, Bob said, well, if it doesn't come in, I'm just going to have to give your money back. Sorry about that. I said, yeah, I noticed everybody else, Brian Magician and another magician and Steven Magician, they all got the 446 mix, and another guy too, and the Decepticon. Oh well. And Greg Petty talks about it too, so they must have got it too. For some reason, it didn't come through over where we live in America. Oh well. I don't think it's the magician's fault. I think it's something in the website that might have messed up. I don't think it's their fault. But anyway, well, hopefully they hear this video and try to make amends somehow. Because I'm sure I'm not the only one that had this problem. If it is, that would be rare. But anyway, because I already got the Stephen Brundage lecture video, and it came with a cube. I got the Crazy Sam Hung, with Henry Harris talking also, lecture video, and it came with a cube. I'm thinking maybe this should have came with a cube. That way it would have came together, because we wanted to come in the mail, in Bob Schofield's mail, and then Bob would give it to me on the church band bus, and then I would go and download the video from that website, and then I would put it in my video file on my PC laptop right here, and then I could play it over and over and over. I record off my video camera so that it'll stay in the file from the SD card onto there. This is how I do it. Everybody wants to know, even in church, even Bob Turner and Judy Schofield, Bob Schofield's wife. I said, this is what I do, as I put the headphone mic on where the mic of the video camera is, and then I aim the video on the video, so I got video and sound, and then it goes on to the SD card, and then I take and download it into the PC laptop so I can watch it, and then I can delete the SD card. And when we had DVD recorders, I would run the camera and the mic. I had the same idea, but it would go into the DVD disc, and then I would finalize the disc, and then it would be on the disc. And that's how I did YouTube, the same way. That way I got video and sound. And then Pat Bogle showed a way you could do it another way, and when I explained to Mr. Story, he's like MacGyver A-Team, and he rigged up his own version to do the same thing. But they don't make DVD recorders anymore, not even VCR tapes anymore, and cassette tapes and 8-tracks are fading out. Everything is getting to where you just watch it and not record it. That's going to be a terrible day when that happens. And it's going to be a worse day when the end times comes, that the people that wish they were saved and have been too late.